Welcome, welcome. So today we're going to have a little look at r/Just No Mother-in-Law. So if that sounds like something you'd be interested in listening to with me today, then please do stick around and enjoy. And don't forget to like and subscribe, please, thank you. And just a little disclaimer, any opinions I give on these stories are my opinions. I am not stating they are facts. If you do not agree with my opinion, you do not need to have a heart attack, although I absolutely implore you to respectfully share your own opinion if you have a different opinion to me, because sometimes you guys point out things that I have missed and it's so interesting, and then I'm like, oh my god, yeah, actually that makes so much sense. So yeah. Anyway, let's get into the first story then, shall we? First one's posted by Baby Mama 24. I blocked my mother-in-law. I bet there's many people on that subreddit that wish they could do the same. So this one's been tagged as Am I Overreacting? My husband doesn't agree with my decision completely, but he said he guess he understands. My mother-in-law has made multiple group chats and my husband mutes them all, ignores his mum and all his brothers, except for one. Well, one day, she starts going off in the group chat saying no one in the family helps each other and wanted to know why. She addressed each of us individually, yet was pissed at our responses. Don't ask questions if you don't want honest answers, honestly. She told me and all her daughter-in-laws that we can leave her sons at any time because she believes we are the reason her kids don't have relationships with each other or with her. The conversation ended with her guilt-tripping everyone, saying, I guess it's my fault then, and I guess I'm a terrible mum. That tells me everything I need to know. Anyone who's had a parent who, weaponizes guilt trips like that, you know they are the problem. Yeah, anyone who's been on the receiving end of that single sentence there of, I guess I'm a terrible mum, tells me everything. In addition to all of this, she is making comments about my size as being pregnant, saying my baby is going to rip me from here to there. What a horrible mental image. My family has a history of having big babies and carrying bigger than most. I feel like I'm not that big. I'm just very pregnant. It's my second baby. Yeah, and you do tend to be sort of more prominently pregnant the more children you have as well. Fast forward, I had already invited her to my baby shower, so to keep things peaceful and keep myself calm, I decided to wait until after the baby shower to block her. After our last conversation, she decided not to show up, and she's moaning that no one has a relationship with each other, but she didn't show up. Okay. Instead of telling us she couldn't make it, she FaceTimed me after the shower was over, telling me, look at all this housework I did today. This is why I couldn't come. I hung up the phone and immediately blocked her. She tried calling her son, but he didn't answer. His choice, not mine. She ended up getting in contact with my sister-in-law saying I have a gift for them, but I guess if I'm going to be blocked, they don't have to get anything from me. In addition to all of this, none of her grandkids like her because they don't know her. She never comes around, and when she does, she gets them all wound up and leaves because they are too much for her to handle. It turns into, my kids never did that, but she wasn't around for their childhood. Every time her grands have something going on, she has an excuse why she can't be there. Yeah, see, no, she would annoy me too, and I'd just have to be like, alright, not my monkeys, not my circus, because yeah, how are you gonna be moaning to me and blaming me, saying that none of your sons have anything to do with you, but then when you are invited to family events, you don't show up? And then thinly veiled insults all the time. We can see who the common denominator is, considering none of her sons have anything to do with her, really. Kind of questioning why the husband thinks that the OP is overreacting and doesn't agree with her decision to block her when he literally mutes the group chats and ignores his mum. Yeah. And considering she wasn't involved in their lives as in their childhood, it says to me that the mum is, there's something going on with her. Yeah, she's probably not been the best person to be around. So no, I don't think the OP's overreacting. Protect your peace. Again, not my monkeys, not my circus, is the way I see it. Anyway, so down in the comments, C Cauliflower 8368 says, you first have a husband problem. He isn't responding to her, so he sees more problem but doesn't want to rock the boat. He also allows her to say hateful things to you, which is not okay. Since all family are being attacked together, it might do well to have all of you convene to discuss this and mount an offence together. At least this way the rest of your family stays together and she can be shut out. My mother-in-law thought her daughters-in-law were the root of all her misery. Women like this will never be satisfied and always the victim. She did you a favour by not coming to your baby shower. You have every reason to block her and not look back. Yeah, and if she's turning up and when you do see her, it's just like insults or, oh, my kids would never have acted like this, which, let's be honest, is just in being insulting when it's like your parent. It's just basically, they do that in a way, I guess, to be like, oh yeah, well, you know, I disagree with your parenting basically and I'm trying to diminish your parenting or whatever. That's what that sounds like to me anyway. So yeah, I completely agree with the OP's decision to block her. I wish more in this subreddit would do that, to be honest, because I feel so many more of them would just be so much better off without that direct line of communication. But I do get why people are reluctant because, you know, they're thinking about their partners and stuff like that. So I get that. Anyway. Next post, posted by Orango Waller 88. Finally told my mother-in-law that I don't like her touching my pregnant belly. Ugh, don't. Someone tried to do that to me, a stranger, in the shops when I was pregnant with my first and my second. It happened multiple times and it was always when I was shopping. And I would just like, as soon as I saw that hand about to reach out, I would step away and be like, no, no, do not touch me. Why do people do that? Even people you know. Don't touch me. Gross, icky, hands off, slap wrist. My mother-in-law and I aren't close because she likes to make snide comments, then pretend that it was just a joke. Or she will act completely clueless to how she sounds or comes across. She once made a joke about hanging me. What? And ever since then, I just completely closed myself off to her. I'm sorry, that's not a joke. What in the world? Please tell me your partner told her where to fuck off to for that. That is disturbing, actually disturbing. We've never had a discussion about any of this, but she definitely knows that I don't enjoy being around her. I'm pregnant with what will be her second grandchild in 10 years, so she's pretty excited. She has touched my bump a total of 3 times, and each time it took everything in me not to slap her hands away and completely crawl out of my skin. My love, I understand you so deeply. I get it. You should have slapped her hand though. Well, this last time I just couldn't help myself, and without even thinking, I pushed her hands away and said, I don't really like that. Her response was, I know you don't, but the baby needs to know my touch. The baby ain't gonna know shit. You're touching it through 7 layers of skin, fat, muscle, and viscera. What are you doing? The baby doesn't know your touch. It knows, something has just made the sidewalls of my home get very small. Am I crazy for being so livid and uncomfortable with this comment? Like, I actually felt gross when I walked away from her. The fact that she thinks she can just overstep my boundaries regarding my body so that she can feel contacted to my unborn child infuriates me. I'm a little worried this might be brought up again. Am I in the wrong? No! If you don't want to be touched by someone, you are absolutely within your rights to say no to that physical contact. You wouldn't go up to anyone else and just touch them. So why, when it's because you're pregnant, is it all of a sudden that your body is public property? It's disgusting. And I completely understand that feeling of feeling gross if anyone did do it. Like, if anyone ever actually managed to make contact when I was pregnant with my 2, Oh, it was horrid. Like, it's like I could feel that, like, the imprint left behind of their gross hand for so long. It just feels so gross. And it does feel like all of a sudden you have no right to bodily autonomy. In, like, getting serious with it now, like, there's nothing worse than feeling like all of a sudden your body isn't yours and you are just an incubator. It's really, like, disheartening to be seen as less than. Oh, two massive geese flying past my window. They must be going on a date. Sorry, I got distracted then and I forgot what I was saying. Can you tell I've had 2 cups of coffee today? Okay then, so down in the comments, Tome Thug and Harmony 4664 says, so she knows you don't like it and admitted it. If your partner does not address this immediately, you have a partner problem. Precisely. A running theme with this subreddit, I fear. And then Rad1 Fiskath3 says, that's ridiculous. Tell her if she can't keep her hands to herself, then you will no longer be around her. Get your significant other to back you up. This is assault. You would never let anyone else randomly touch you, that's what I'm saying. Especially after telling them not to. So why is she allowed to? A boundary is just a suggestion if there are no consequences attached to it. She will bulldoze you and your rules regarding your child if you let this continue. This is your hill to die on. It's time to go mama bear and let her know that you won't put up with her nonsense. You have a child to protect. Limit contact and put her on an info diet. Do not let her know when you go into labour. Oh god, yeah, she'll be turning up banging on the flaming hospital doors. And warn all the staff that she's not allowed in. But most importantly, discuss with your partner that keeping her in check is their responsibility since she's their mother. I wish you the best. I'm so sorry you're in this position. She sounds awful. And then we do have a little update moving on from that post. So for some reason, they are under a new username, so I don't know if maybe they accidentally got locked out their account or something or whatever, but these were attached. Like there was a link back to the other one, I do believe. So yeah, they are the same person. Anyway, so they say the old belly touching saga. Following up from a post here yesterday about telling mother-in-law no touching the belly, we had lunch together today and I had geared myself up and had it all scripted in my head. I was ready this time. I also spoke to my partner and warned him to stand up for me, or I would avoid her like the plague if she continued doing it. I have asked her nicely not to touch my belly, but every time I see her, she does it anyway. Today was no different. She reached out those little hands and I stepped back. She stepped forward, so I flicked her hands away. And as my partner started to say I don't like it, I told her no more touching. I am sick of saying I just don't like it. Of course, she asked why. I said because I didn't like my guts being touched before I was pregnant. I'm uncomfortable as hell. It's weird. And just no. Exactly. She told me she's just trying to bond with the baby. I said, you do realise it's my body you're touching and not the baby, right? And just because your belly is huge, I feel no desire to reach out and touch it. Oh my god. OP. She then said I would just have to get used to it with her and reached her hands out again. Oh my god. I moved them away and told her that I wouldn't be getting used to it because she wouldn't be doing it again, one way or another. She screwed her face up and went and sat down. So, turns out I didn't need him to stand up for me after all. It felt good to get my point across myself. Not the first boundary issue I've had to force with her, and I'm certain it won't be the last. But maybe she'll start to figure out that I'm not in this relationship to be with her. She can stop trying to walk over me because it's never going to work. I can be nice, or I can be the opposite if it's called for. If she doesn't figure it out, she doesn't have to be included. Love that. I love that for the OP. Good. I'm so glad that you really told her. But my god, the audacity after being told I don't like it, it will not be happening again. And she's just like, no, you're just going to have to get used to it, and reaches out again. Rude. So, Legendary Mel says, I don't understand why some people think touching pregnant women is a free-for-all. I went shopping with my heavily pregnant sister once, and when she reached out for something, a random woman touched her belly. Oh, I never even touched her belly, and I'm related to her. My mother-in-law once told me if I was in labour, I wouldn't care who is there. I definitely would. Yeah, exactly. Like, just because I'm in pain and trying to push a kid out doesn't mean that I'm not bothered by who is in the room when I've got my legs akimbo and my fanny 3 sheets to the wind. Like, what are you talking about? Of course I care. I don't want the whole family staring up my nether regions waiting for the new arrival. Go away. So then Tome Thug and Harmony 4664 says, seriously, I was not prepared for this when I first was pregnant either. I had parents of my students at open house try it. Strangers, man. The mind reels. Well done, OP. No is a complete sentence. It absolutely is. And I'm so pleased that the OP really told her. I really do think that she ain't gonna listen, but I'm glad she told her anyway, and I hope that she does finally listen eventually. My goodness. So, next post, and with this one, it seems that we're continuing the theme of audacity today. This one was posted by Pressure Washer, and the title is Mother-in-law's refusing to come to grandson's first birthday if it's not at her house. My son is turning 1 in June. We're planning his birthday party. We have a big family with lots of kids, so I suggested having the party at my parents' house because they have way more space. Plus, things like a trampoline, swings, and a kiddie pool for the kids. My fiancé also pointed out that it would take a lot of stress off us, since we wouldn't have to spend the whole day prepping food and getting our house ready. When I brought this up to my mother-in-law, she immediately shut it down because of course she did. She said her husband is having surgery in April and might not be able to come, and then followed that up by saying that she wouldn't come either if we have it at my parents' house. The thing is, I strongly feel like this isn't really about the surgery. You may be onto something there. Her family doesn't like leaving their house and typically won't attend events unless they are hosted there. She also tends to want control over things like the food because her family is very particular. Now she's given us the silent treatment and saying, do whatever you want, which feels like a setup where she'll be upset if we don't do it her way. Let her be upset. She's a big grown lady, let her be upset. I'm frustrated because this is our son's birthday, and I feel like we're trying to make a reasonable decision that works best for everyone, especially the kids. But it's turning into a power struggle. Yeah, but why is it turning into a power struggle? Do not engage. It's as simple as that. It's only a power struggle if you allow it to be. If you just say, this is what we're doing, end of story, that's that. And that be done, you know? Has anyone dealt with something like this? How do you handle it without causing long-term drama? You just shut it down and say, it's our son's birthday. We're doing it here for the kids. End of story. If you want to come, come. If you don't, don't. That be that, you know? Don't engage with it. Like when people start trying to push you to have everything their way, just don't engage with it. Just tell them what you're doing. And then leave it at that and give them an invitation. That's all you need to do. And if they want to start drama over it, don't engage. Simple. So, down in the comments, young mum to Jay offers this suggestion of what to say back. Thank you. We will do whatever we want, considering it's son's birthday after all. Hopefully you can join us. If not, we'll miss you. And that's that. And then Ribbit Rabbit 2000 says, honey, 1 will fly by and you'll soon have a toddler. Accept mother-in-law's poor behaviour as the tantrum and manipulation that it is. Use it as parenting practice and you'll be fine. Congrats on 1. The first year is a milestone for your whole little family. Happy birthday, mama. And then Mad Peachy Pie says, your mother-in-law has her heart set in being upset, so let her be upset. It's not up to you to fix that for her. She won't come if the party isn't at her house. I guess she's not coming then. You don't really want her there anyway, lurking around the edges of the party and sulking at everyone, so win-win. And the silent treatment, bonus. Peace and quiet. Yeah, exactly. So, last post for the day, posted by Puppum. Mother-in-law called part of my Easter meal disgusting. Rude. Every year, my husband and I are responsible for hosting Easter for my in-laws. Little backstory, I already took a huge step back from helping since the first year, approximately 7 years ago. I cooked everything. I spent all day cooking a huge meal: ham, potatoes, pierogies, cabbage rolls, veggies, salad, etc. This all took place on a Saturday. At the time, everyone had only good things to say, aside from my mother-in-law upset that there was no deviled eggs. I thought everything went so well until Sunday rolled round and my mother-in-law had everyone, except me, over for a second Easter dinner because everybody wanted turkey, not ham. I have not cooked since. That is so mean to be like, everyone can come except the OP. Like, rude. Oh my god. And all because, oh, we wanted turkey. Oh, well, go home and cook your own bloody food then, mate. My husband and I do not like turkey. It's dry. It's just awful in my opinion. So, every year my husband chooses his own non-traditional meat to serve. Yeah, I'm not a big turkey person either, to be fair. For like Christmas food, like normally everyone over here has turkey. I usually do beef and lamb. They're my faves. This year was smoked ribs. Immediately, my sister-in-law requested hers to not be smoked. Mother-in-law also immediately messages and says, "Chicken, please." We are not a restaurant. That's not how this works. My husband questioned even doing ribs since it was a 6-hour commitment with already so many complaints. Here's what I say to do. Tell them to host this Easter dinner at their house if they want to be so fussy. But he decided to proceed since there were still 8 other people who would eat them. He told his mum and sister to bring their own meat. That was met with a "for real" from his mum, followed by, "You know I don't eat ribs. Sorry, I thought you were accommodating everyone." Which was a jab at the fact that we were hosting Easter at husband's grandparents' house instead of ours, which we decided to do because his grandpa is hooked up to oxygen and is very challenging to get him out anywhere. Apparently that's also unacceptable to mother-in-law that we didn't have it at our house to accommodate 86-year-old grandpa. What? That doesn't make sense. They are accommodating grandpa by going to his house where his oxygen is. Goodness me, I feel that there is a hint that maybe this lady just is never happy with anything, perhaps, you know? So, on to the day. My husband smokes ribs, makes salad and potatoes. I make baked beans, mac and cheese, and cornbread. All of which I offered to make since my husband doesn't like any of those dishes, but I love them with ribs. The beans are canned beans that I put a bit of onion and barbecue sauce into. Not a groundbreaking dish, but I do love dipping cornbread into it. So good. I always make it the same way, but it's seriously a nothing effort. Now on to the dinner. I'll set the scene. Grandma, sister-in-law, and 6-month-old niece to my left, father-in-law, mother-in-law, and future brother-in-law, engaged to sister-in-law, to my right. Husband, grandpa, and my 2 kids in the living room. This is important to note that my husband is not in the room with us. Mother-in-laws are always braver with their words when their sons aren't around to defend their wife. Mother-in-law only takes the chicken she bought, salad, and a small bit of beans, clearly deeming everything else not worthy of her time. She suddenly asks, "What's in the beans?" And I say, "Just a bit of onion and barbecue sauce." "These are disgusting." That's all she says. Everyone notes my face going red, so father-in-law says, "Everyone's palates are different," and grandma says, "You can't please everyone. Don't even bother trying." Exactly, grandma. I'm with grandma on this one. Yeah, but I mean, if you don't like it, fair enough. Yeah, everyone, it does have different tastes, but you don't have to say disgusting. That's rude. It could have all ended right there, but then mother-in-law continues and states, "Well, the garbage will enjoy them." Wow, double down much? I could have died right there. I held my shit together and didn't cry, even though I wanted to. Not because of the beans. Beans aren't worth crying over. But the level of respect, or lack thereof should we say, that she would have the balls to say this to my face. So heartbreaking. My future brother-in-law, who I don't believe has ever witnessed the way she treats me, then looks at my mother-in-law in horror and says, "Pardon me?" You could hear a pin drop. He looks at me with pure sadness in his eyes. Nobody else said anything for fear of keeping this conversation going. Grandma made sure to eat every last bite of those beans and even had seconds, bless her heart. My husband was mortified when I told him once we got home. He said we can take a step back for a while, so that's the story. My beans aren't disgusting and belong in the garbage. I'm sad, but I shall move on. Thank you for reading. Yeah, it's just disrespectful. And honestly, OP, stop hosting friggin' Easter. They moan every year. Stop hosting it. Stop doing it. Tell them to do it instead. So, down in the comments, Kit Kim says, I'm the type of person who gives it as she gets it. Sometimes it shuts the bully down. Sometimes it eggs them on, but it always ends up with them leaving me alone and never trying it again. I also don't have a lot of friends, so take that as you will. Fair enough. We love a self-aware queen. But in this case, I think you need to try it. And then BC Wonderlust says, I'm so proud of you for holding it together, OP, and kudos to future brother-in-law. I'm sorry that you were unappreciated and disrespected. You and your hubby sound like fabulous chefs. Honestly, future brother-in-law, you've seen what it's like. Get out while you can, mate. Run far, run wide. Because you are peeping into your future here, my love, and it doesn't seem very bright. Anyway, I think that's where we're going to leave it for today. If you made it all the way to the end with me, then I appreciate you very, very much. If you give a little like, subscribe, notifications on, that is your initiation into the Governor Void. Welcome! Don't forget to leave the offering of a comment for Big Al. He is hungry today. Whatever it is you're doing for the day, I hope you have a really good rest of the day. Goodbye!